My husband and I have been married many, many years. We do a lot of different things together, but we have six rental properties. And people move in and out of those sometime quickly. Well, actually, lately they've been staying longer. But in our early days, they moved in and out all the time. Well, we have this one property and we were fixing it up to actually sell it. And we weren't going to really continue to rent it. We were going to sell it. Well, we went into the house and there was dark paint everywhere on the house. Now, if you've ever done much painting, you realize that burgundy colored paint is really hard to cover. Red, dark blue, whatever. If it's really dark, it takes a lot of coats to cover it. So we were recarpeting, painting, cleaning up the kitchen, doing all the things that you do on your rental property so that you can rent it again and give somebody a nice place to live. And so we had been working on it for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks, we've been working on this property because it took coats and coats of paint. Well, right after we started painting, we realized that we had not speckled the cracks, the dents, some of the other little spots. We had fixed big holes on the wall, but we forgot to speckle. So we were already on 2 coats of white to cover the dark paint. And then we're on our second coat of actual neutral color that was going on the walls. In fact, we try to use mostly all the same neutral color on all the properties to make it easier to repaint and touch up when people move. Well, on this day, I was headed over to that property and I thought, oh my gosh, we are just about done. 3 weeks of painting, cleaning carpets, cleaning this house after work, after our daily schedules. So as I entered the door, I started to see where somebody had started to fill in little dents and holes that were in the wall. And there was a little spackling here and a little spackling there. And as I went farther into the house, I started to see literally hundreds of places spackled on the wall. On our freshly painted 4 coats of paint, my husband had started spackling and he had put hundreds of spackling spots on those walls. Can I tell you, even when I relive it and I talk about it, I start to feel my frustration from that day. Just about done, maybe our last day. And now all the walls had spackling on all the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the kitchen, the den. To begin with, the people had painted with burgundy paint and they weren't supposed to. It was on the ceiling, it was on the white baseboards. Do you get the picture? It had been a long process of cleaning up this house and getting it presentable again. Well, I became so mad that I literally couldn't stand it. I like to say I was ready to blast off into space. And did I say my husband and I usually get along really good? Really good? Well, this left me feeling absolutely disrespected. I was so furious and I was so tired of working on this house. What had happened? He just suddenly wasn't really thinking, was he? He started spackling, and as if it was a therapy or something, he started spackling every single room. Well, I left. I'm like, I'm out of here. No more help for me today. Like, I'm not even coming back over here. I was so, so mad. And he knew it. And he's a pleaser. He doesn't like for me to get upset. I don't like to get upset, but I was so mad. There are some things that happen where we become so upset. Well, this man was 11th in our high school class. Just to tell you that he's a smart person. He's not stupid, he's smart, but he just wasn't thinking. He doesn't always think about efficiency. He sees what needs to be done and he just begins doing it. So, how would you like to unlock new understanding today? Reminisce on your dating days, find the hidden triggers. Stop blaming yourself because you and your spouse have things that are different, like personality styles, how you were raised, and that kind of thing. How would you like to see your spouse through different eyes. Well, you're in the right place because we get caught up in all the stuff going on and we just lose track of one another. And for my husband, Jeff, and I, it's gotten better, of course, but not forgotten. Now, we actually laugh about it. This is not about me. We have great communication, understanding, and forgiveness. So we could easily move on. Keyword forgiveness. Move past it. It was a mistake. Welcome to Five Tricky Truths About Lasting Love. My name is Connie Durham, and I am the host of the Extraordinary Marriage Podcast, where I share all kinds of things to help couples move past their disagreements and move past their misunderstandings so they can enjoy one another again. You're here because you believe there's got to be something more and you're willing to invest your time into it. So kudos to you today for just being here. Life. Tony Robbins says the way we communicate with others and with ourselves ultimately determines the quality of our lives. Are you and your spouse able to communicate well? Do you listen to each other? Well, today you have hit the easy button, and I'm going to try to make this short and brief and to the point. And I'm going to give you those five tricky truths. And at the end, I have a free gift for you, so make sure you get it. All you have to do is sign up for it. You'll get it right in your email box. So let's start with five differences every couple has. First of all, you grew up in different families. Yes, everybody has different parenting styles. You had maybe even cultural differences, but everybody has environment differences, different personalities. Literally, people are born with a particular DNA. You know that, the color of your skin, your hair, your size, all different kinds of things. But there's more to it. Different personalities mean we look at things differently. We react differently to things. We all have different values and expectations. And sometimes, whenever somebody expects a lot of themselves, they expect a lot of you. Yeah, you grew up in different families. So, for lasting love, you have to create your own roadmap. You have to stop and look at the things that you do well together, the things that he does better, she does better, who's going to take care of the kids most, who's going to take care of ball practice, who's going to, provide most of the money, who's going to keep the house. For lasting love, you got to create your roadmap and you got to sit down and talk about it. You can never establish a personal relationship without opening up your heart. Without opening up your heart. And your spouse is the most important person in your life. You've got to open up to each other. Maybe somebody's got a temper and you're afraid to share with them. Get help, right? You can never establish a personal relationship without opening up your own heart. My friend Amy, who went through some of my classes, said we use what we learned and how we communicate with each other and how we parent. Knowing our differences helps us to communicate better. The second thing in the tricky truths is personality and upbringing determine what motivates you. Some people are motivated simply by pleasing people, and some people are motivated by money or power. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of people are motivated by a new challenge, something new to do, a little change in life, new experiences, and friends. Some people love to hang out with their friends, and some people like to have a quiet moment by themselves. Research and learning new things motivates people, but sometimes people like status quo. They like the same things, or as I would say, the same old things all the time, because I personally like change. But some people are satisfied by very little change in their lives. But most of us, we're like doing things for someone else. That's the first one that I mentioned. That servant who likes to do things for you. If you got one of those, hang on to that, right? And if you are that servant, you're probably wishing that your spouse would appreciate what you do just a little bit more. For lasting love, you want to meet in the middle. So personality and upbringing determine what motivates us. what our parents did, what we've experienced, and literally the DNA, how our personality is made up, shares how we think, how we react to things, and what motivates us. So, number three, which describes your decision making process? Which describes your decision making process? Because the first thing we want to do is be self aware. I've got to be paying attention to how I react to things. Do I react with kind words, a listening ear, or do I automatically react like I'm irritated? Which describes your decision making process. Are you methodical? Does it take you some time to think about that decision, what color you want to paint that wall? Or do you just see something, you come up with it, and you decide very quickly? Are you methodical? Do you talk a little slower, a little more like thoughtful? You're thinking about what you're going to say? Or are you quick? This is a big thing, and it really divides the people. Some are methodical in how they think, walk, and talk, and others are quick minded, in a hurry, talking quick, talking a lot. Which one are you? Methodical or quick? For lasting love, you want to respect your differences. He who reforms himself has done much towards reforming others. And one reason why the world is not reformed is because each would have others make a beginning and never think of it doing it himself. Never thinks of himself doing it. That's from Thomas Adams. You see, like, I'm always thinking, hey, that person needs to get it together. Hey, that person needs to be more thoughtful. Hey, that person needs to go a little faster in the car because I'm in a hurry. Anyway, he who reforms himself first makes the difference. Number four, you see the world differently. Have you noticed that you and your spouse see the world differently? Well, that goes back to that number one and how we were raised, and what our parents thought. And then also, we see the world in such a way as I see it this way, and I think you should too. So some people automatically think this goes back to the personalities. What can go wrong? In every situation, whether it's a board meeting at work, there's somebody who sees everything with hope and somebody else who tells you everything that can go wrong. And you think, man, they're so negative. And the other people see what will go right. And so there is two more things that divide you. Do you and your spouse see what can go right? The bright side of the world, what is good, what is kind? Or do you see everything that could go wrong? Sometimes that's hard on people because if you're a positive person and your spouse is always seeming like they're negative, it can be a tough thing. And you think they pour cold water on everything. But this is how they think. When you think about this together, and for lasting love, you got to let it slide. But listen to the person who can see everything that goes wrong and analyze it. Think about it. And for those people who do see what can go wrong, pay attention to the person who looks at what goes right. It really is the thing of you get more of what you expect. I expect things to go well and I deal with them if they go wrong, right? But I expect things to go well. The fifth thing is you both respond differently. If you're methodical, you respond differently. If you are quick on your feet, you respond differently. Sometimes it's like that person that plays hardball, that's the only way they can play it. And another person plays softball. They never tell you directly what's going on. They're going to kind of beat around the bush. So are you straight and direct? You played hardball. I can't say it. You play hardball. You tell your spouse exactly what you want, exactly how it is, exactly what irritates you. Or are you playing softball? You're indirect. You're easygoing. And if you do say something that's bothering you to your spouse, you're like, do it very carefully, very kindly. Do you see? Some play hardball, they're straight and direct, and others play softball. They're soft and indirect. Sometimes when they say something, you don't even know they actually were trying to tell you something important. But for lasting love, think before you speak. Sometimes you have to hit the pause button before you talk. You have to hit the pause button so you don't hurt your spouse's feelings. The definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing, expecting something different. Have you ever heard that before? I mean, in your relationship with your spouse, if you keep doing the same thing, expecting to get something different, it is insane because nothing changes. But personal growth can help you both change. Being aware of your behavior, talking about it with each other can make a difference for you. Just like my husband and I have our differences in reasoning. Like I said, he's in the top of our class. We graduated together. I don't know what number I was. I'm more creative, and he is. I'm creative but logical, but he remembers all facts. I call him my walking encyclopedia. But guess what? His reasoning skills weren't so good that day. Our personality styles are different. I might get upset a little faster than he does. He's pretty easygoing. And expectations, do you expect your spouse to do the things well that you do well? I'll tell you, you probably do different things well, and you're each motivated by different things. My husband and I am motivated by the beauty of things. And one of his things is he's motivated by security. Well, we found our way to lasting love. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see your marriage in 5 years? Did you have any aha moments today? Do you want to feel joyful and confident? Feel less confident and frustrated in your life? You've got to be bobbing your head. Restore hope for a healthy and loving marriage. You want to make it over those speed bumps, right? Did I remember I said 45 years of marriage? And there's a lot of change through the years, ups and downs, troubles you have to deal with, and you want to learn to be able to do it together. What if you could change your story? Oh, I see my T's missing there. Let go of the past experiences and create today's story. Have new goals, new thoughts. With support, create new hope. Well, have you gained clarity on what you want your marriage to look like? Have you stepped back and taken a look and said, yeah, I'm relating to some of these things? Do you understand some of the root causes of conflict? The things we looked at, they cause frustrations, but you can work together and bring them together. Go from multiple misunderstandings to hope and empowerment. Find out how you can unlock the secret formula to more peace and harmony. If what I've shared is speaking to you, you're going to want to grab my free gift. It's called The Chemistry of Lasting Love. Find what's most important to both of you and get 50 ideas of things you could do together. Did you know that couples need 15 hours of time together? Most of the time, people only spend an hour each week, literally communicating. Like, are you picking Johnny up? Are you dropping Susie off? What time are you going to be home from work tomorrow? Like, really not talking. So you can find what's most important to both of you in the chemistry of lasting love. Plus, you're going to get 50 ideas of things you can do together. You sit down and do it today. And it's really as simple as getting it, going to theextraordinarymarriage.com/5 needs, or you can find it on my main page. Just scroll down the page, you'll find it. And it is theextraordinarymarriage.com, or like I like to say, theextraordinarymarriage.com/5 needs. So you can gain a fresh insight for your marriage. Are you ready? Begin with the chemistry of lasting love. To begin with, for what we did today, you're going to recognize your challenges. Then you can resolve them. Then you can reset them. How would you like to freshen up your marriage and have more appreciation, empathy for one another, listen to each other better, openly share your thoughts and your feelings, apologize when you need to, and have more patience with each other? It all begins with recognizing your challenges so that you can resolve them and then you can reset. All right, so grab it, The Chemistry of Lasting Love, theextraordinarymarriage.com/five needs. All right, I'm Connie Durham, host of The Extraordinary Marriage, and I hope to see you soon. You can email me after you look at this. Let me know any questions you have or what you learned. I would be greatly encouraged if you would do that. Thank you.